Let's talk about surviving through disasters and having faith and having hope in disaster. See, oftentimes we go through a lot of disasters and people get washed away. People get washed away by the things and the circumstances that they experience. See, I can tell you from my journey, I've experienced nothing but disasters. Whether it was financial, spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, I've experienced it all. I've had to go through a lot of things that would easily destroy people. How do you have faith when everything falls apart? How do you have faith? How? I'll tell you how. And that's Jesus Christ. When you have nothing else but God, when you lose everything, and all you have left is God, that's when you find out who you really are. Who are you then? You know, people think that they love God when everything goes well for them. What happens when everything goes the opposite direction? Do you still have faith? Do you still have hope then? When things don't go the way that they should be going? When your life falls apart and you go through disasters? And we're not talking about just one or two disasters. We're talking about going through nothing but disasters, one after another. It's almost like experiencing what Job had experienced in the Bible. Everybody's story is different, but I can tell you that I've experienced what it's like to have to go through nothing but difficulty, nothing but through hardships and trials and disappointments, delays, setbacks, attacks, being monitored, being attacked in every way, going through disasters, not knowing when it's ever going to end. I felt like I was living through a constant invasion. You know, it's like I had to live through invasion. And it was brutal. It's like when you go through a biblical testing, it's different. It's not your normal trials. It's not. It's not like what everybody else goes through. You know, some people go through it on a biblical level, on a biblical way. And I'll tell you what, you know, when you have God, that's the only way you can get through it and not give up and not surrender and still have hope. When you feel like all hope was lost, when you're living in constant discomfort and uncertainty, you get to find out who you really are. Who are you when you're at the bottom of the ocean and nobody cares about you? Everybody wants to be your friend. Everything seems good in life when you're on top of the world. But what happens when you're on the bottom of the ocean? Who are you then? Because if money doesn't define you and God defines you, and you go through that kind of stuff and you're still holding it together somehow, that's who you really are. It shows your true character. It shows your true colors of who you really are. And that's what I call true character development. It's when you have to go through that kind of life. For nearly 20 years, I had to experience that. Since I was 19 years old until I was 37 years old. I had to experience life in a way that would destroy even the toughest of people. But I'm not here to complain or brag about how hard I had to go through it. I'm just speaking the truth. And the truth is, not everybody goes through it that bad. Some people go through it bad. Some people go through it worse. Some people go through it kind of easy. But just know that there is always a reason behind it. And oftentimes people assume that it's your fault that you're going through all that. And honestly, in my situation, it wasn't even my fault. It was just something I had to go through. It was developing me. Even though it didn't feel that way, it was developing me. So you need to keep your faith in God, and you need to connect with God. You need to stay close to God, because that is the only way that you're going to have purpose in life. That's the only way that you're going to survive. And that you're going to come out stronger and better and prepared to dominate, to conquer for the kingdom, for the covenant, for the glory of God. Through Christ Jesus, we rise. We rise for the kingdom of Jesus Christ, for his covenant. Okay? We rise above all that dares to challenge us, because we are more than conquerors through Jesus Christ. We are unstoppable. We are mighty in the land. We are blessed in the land. We are God's people. We are his covenant. So I'm here to encourage you to stay in the fight, because your time will come, and so will mine. Until next time, let's go out there and show the world exactly who we are.